Hello everybody, welcome back to another Quickster Games video, and this is going to be a tutorial on how to create your own Minecraft server. So, different video, we're on my desktop, and basically all we're going to do is show you how to create a server from step one. There's no memberships included like Realms or using Apex services or anything. It's going to be completely free off your own PC. Nice private server so that only you and your friends can play, and there will be no other interference. So let's get into the video. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to go to this link. I will leave a link in the description to this. It is basically a Minecraft.net server and download. So this is directly from Minecraft. It's fully secure. And the problem with this is that it won't list past versions. Let's say you want to make a 1.8.9 server. Let's say you want to make a 1.14 server. If you want to do this, then you're going to go to mcversions.net. And it's going to take you here. And here you can download your server jar files for any version that has ever been out. There's snapshots, beta versions, alpha versions, literally until the first version, which was back in 2009. Not sure why you do that, but but basically, this is where you'd go if you want a version other than 1.16.3, but which is the newest version. So we're gonna do it here. So for the latest version of Minecraft, either way, you should end up with a jar file. So we're going to download the jar file, save it to our desktop. Alright, so basically, once it is downloaded, you're going to minimize this. And when it is here on your desktop, server jar, you're going to right click, go to New, Folder, and I'm just going to name it Minecraft Server. And you're going to take the jar file and bring it into here, and please make sure the jar file is named server.jar. Here, let me make it so it's like, well, never mind. Just make sure it's server and then a jar file. You got, if it's like Minecraft server or something like that, the Mojang will always do, you have to rename it. So just right click, rename, and then server. But then what we're gonna do is, some people like to do this, where they will click on this jar file and it will kind of just bring files up, and you could do it from there. I don't really like that method because it brings up this whole GUI, which is unnecessary and everything. So we're gonna do it the full customizable way, because if you do from here, you can't change how much memory or RAM usage it's doing. So basically what we're gonna do is right click, new text document, click into the text document, and go back to your Minecraft.net or whatever it was. Control C and paste this code and change this where it says Minecraft server 1.16.3. Change it to just server.jar because that is the file name of our jar. And then press enter at no GUI and do, in all caps, pause. Now, this is what XMX1024M means. It means how many megabytes of RAM it's going to be using. So this is a gigabyte of RAM. If you translate from megabytes to gigabytes, it is a gigabyte of RAM. So let's say you wanted 2 gigabytes of RAM. You do 2048. That's 2 gigabytes. I'll leave these links in the description, but since we're just doing a normal vanilla Minecraft server, we're gonna only use 1 gigabyte of RAM, which should be enough for most of your usages. I do not recommend doing anything more than 1 gigabytes of RAM if you're on a low-end PC. If you have maybe 8 gigabytes of RAM installed on your computer, I do you could theoretically bump this up a little more. But once this is here, what you're going to want to do is File, Save As, and then change this to All Files, and change this to Run.bat or Start.bat. Either one works. Click Save, Exit. Now you can delete the text document, and there you should see a new file. Run. It's a Windows batch file. Basically, if you click it, it's gonna bring up all this stuff, and it's gonna add some files to here, and it's gonna give you an error saying that you need to accept the eula.txt. So press any key. If it gives you an error saying that you cannot run, or there's an error in the memory, such as like the Hall, if it was trying to bring files over but you don't have enough memory, you might have to run. You might have to bump down the megabytes of RAM. But right here in the EULA file, you're gonna want to change this to true. Please read this. Please read this. If you're just doing a private server, it does not really matter. But if you are wanting to make this a whole network, which I'm not really telling you how to do it a network, I'm just showing a vanilla server how to do it. But if you want to run a Spigot server, a Bungee Core network server, which I'll leave tutorials in the future, I'll make some on how to make those servers. But if you want to make a whole dedicated Minecraft server, all this, you need to read this, because if you violate it, they can blacklist your server and get in a lot of trouble with you. So let's say you make a cracked server, well, you're technically violating the EULA at that point. But do what you need to do. Do File, Save. Once it is changed to true, open up the batch file again, and now guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna add world files. It's gonna do the server properties file. It's gonna do all of this stuff. But now, if you can see, it says done. It has loaded the world and everything. But please do not click off the video. Please do not click off the video, because your friends cannot join this. If you want, this is only a LAN server at this point. We have not port forwarded. You guys probably don't know what that is yet. It's fine. But you have not done anything to help, or like to make this a friend server. So basically, you can only join locally on your own Wi-Fi. If your sister wants to join, she can join to this right now, like on another computer, but it has to be in your home. But you don't want that, right? You want your friends. So what we're going to do is type stop. It's going to save the world, save everything. Press any key, it's going to close it out. What we need to do is go into your browser. We can close all this out. And actually, first, go into here, into your taskbar, do CMD. Open up your command prompt. Type in ipconfig. And what's going to bring up is your IPv4 address, your subnet mask, default gateway. You need to pay attention to the default gateway. So mine is 192.168.0.1, and my IPv4 address and everything. This does not matter. This is not your public IP. Your public IP is what many people will use to find your location and everything, whatever. This is not a public IP. This is just the IP address that the internet router gives you, so people can do nothing with this, essentially. So pay attention to this default gateway and IPv4 address, and I recommend writing this down somewhere. You don't have to pay attention to the subnet mask. I know you guys are probably wondering what the heck is all this stuff, because I know a lot of you might be just wanting to run a server with your friends. Pay attention to this number and these numbers. This one and this one. It should be different for you. Just make sure it's an IPv4 and default gateway. And what you're going to want to do is take your default gateway, which I already know, go into an internet browser, and type in that default gateway. So mine is 192.168.0.1. Just type it in like you're entering a website. And it should take you to your internet router's company homepage. Almost always, the username will be admin, and the password will be password. And click apply or enter. Alright, so here's where all the very, very important information is. You do not want to be sharing this stuff with your friends or anything. But basically, what you want to do is once you're on this page, you want to go to firewall, security, whatever, or port forwarding, whatever. Go here, firewall or whatever, mine's firewall, and right here, you should see virtual servers or port forwarding. Once you end up at port forwarding, hopefully you've made it by now. You're going to want to click add. And right here, the description can be whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Minecraft server. And the inbound port, or the external port to the internal port, the local port, inbound port, depends what the terms are. But anything that says port, it's going to be 25565. So 25565, 25565, 25565. And this is Minecraft's port numbers. And the format, you're going to want to click both. You cannot have it on TCP or UDP. You have to have it on both. And finally, for your private IP address, look back here. What is your IPv4 address? Mine is 192.168.0.13. So I'm going to write that down. And keep in mind, these can change overnight if you turn off your computer, switch from Ethernet to wireless, or something like that. The IPv4 address will change, so you need to keep that in mind. Because if everything works out, your friends are playing on your server, and then all of a sudden they can't join, it's probably because your IPv4 address changed. So you're gonna basically have to port forward again, but on the new one. But basically, once you've done this, click Add Virtual Server. And it should say, like, your unit's updating, all this stuff. And now, you have successfully port forwarded. Now let's actually test that we successfully port forwarded, did our Minecraft server everything correct. Let's test it. So go to Open Port Checker tool, and it's yougetsignal.com. And right here is my IP address, and this is my public IP address. That's why I have it blurred out, because you can see where I lived if I didn't have it blurred. But you're going to change the port number to 25565, and now you're going to run your Minecraft server. So let's run this. Let it load up our world files and everything, and I will cut to when it's up. Okay, it is now up, so if you go to Open Port Checker tool, yougetsignal.com, have your ports on 25565. This should be your IP address. Please do not, if you're using a VPN, this will not work. I'm warning you right now, if you're using a VPN, it won't work. Click check. It is open, so we successfully port forwarded and did everything correctly with our Minecraft server. So now you can close this out. And what you're going to do is get in Minecraft. And once you are in Minecraft, I'll cut to when I have it up, by the way. Alright, so we are in Minecraft with our server up, too. And basically, go into like a web browser or something, and just type in what's my IP, like on Google. So let me just do that real quick. What's my IP? And Google should pop it up, say your IP. Copy that. and paste it into your direct connection. So I'm just going to paste that number, and if you click join server, you should now be connected to your own personal Minecraft server. So right now, everything's working. We're all on it. So basically, this is fully customizable. So what you're gonna first want to do once you're in your Minecraft server is you're going to want to go into the console, do op, and then your name. So now you have operator commands, and once you are opt, you can do game mode creative and all the good stuff that you would want to do if you're the owner of a server, of course. Now, this is just a vanilla server. In the future, I will be doing a tutorial on how to make a Spigot server, which will have plugins included so that you will be able to add certain plugins. And I will also add how to make a Bungee Cord network server so that you'll be able to have it. So, like, if you click on a compass, it'll take you to a certain server, lobby, whatever. The good stuff that Hypixel may have and stuff. So, I hope you guys are nice and happy with your new Minecraft server. Play with friends, do whatever you want. So, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!